Hello, this is the hardcore legend Mick Foley, and you are listening to Putting You Over. Yeah.
On bigfollows.com. Use the promo code outlandish. I'll get to that. I'll get to that right after the stream. Get right on that. He needs to be banned. He probably does, but I don't have the time nor energy. Oh, because our guest is here. That's why I don't have the time nor energy. Let's go right over. Look at this. How are you doing? Why do I still hear
Good.
that?
How are you?
Phenomenal. We were just breaking down wrestling from last night and talking to a troll in the Twitch chat, but that's okay. That happens. It's part of the business, I guess. All right, hold on. Let me pull up my cool notes that I took so I don't mess up. Vanessa, did you know this is gonna be our first interview with somebody from space? So we got that going for us. Oh, we lost her. She's coming back. See the connection?
No, I'm still here.
It's okay. The connection up in space, iffy.
We've had someone from the underworld as well.
We have a holodeck. That's right. We've had hell and now space. What I'm wondering, Billy, and welcome, is wrestling different up there? Because I watched a bunch of your matches today, and you do a lot of biting in those matches. Is biting legal in space?
It's just like something that was very normal when I was growing up. Like I was known for biting my cousins and people in my daycare, so uh it became part of my wrestling.
Oh my goodness! You have my shoot job. My background is a behavioral specialist for children with autism, so I've had to deal with lots of bites. I have nasty scars, like on the top of my forearm where I've been bit several times. But I tapped in
It's
every one of
not
those
a
matches.
fun experience.
No, it's not at all. The other thing I wanted to ask you is, how did you go from wanting to be an ice cream truck driver to wanting to be a wrestler?
I just was introduced to wrestling. My stepfather came into my life and introduced me to WWE and NXT, and I fell in love with it. And in my head, I was like, "This is what I want to do with the rest of my life." I no longer wanted to be an ice cream truck driver.
So you, we'll get to the wrestling, because that's awesome that you and your stepdad, you bond with that. We were just talking about old school NXT too, but so you wanted to drive one of those trucks that drives around with the annoying sound and the music and deliver ice cream?
Oh, yes. I loved it so much. I think I loved it so much because over at my grandma's house, there used to be like an ice cream truck driver that would drive over there, and whenever she took us to the park, the ice cream truck driver would come and she would buy us ice cream. And
Oh,
I just remember like it just being a great time, especially like the ice cream where it had gumballs for the
yeah,
eyes.
yeah. It's like,
Amazing time, amazing.
what's that show?
It never looked how they were supposed to look.
No, never, never. And they actually, I don't know what it's like where you are, but where I am from and where I live, they're actually not allowed to drive around anymore. You have to, like order it or approve it to drive around and deliver. And
Really?
yeah,
That's so
it's
weird.
very weird. It wasn't like that when I was growing up, a kid. I'm not a kid anymore, but now it is. So, like for example, one of my kids' birthday parties, were like, we're gonna order the ice cream truck, and it comes driving down. It's got the music playing. Everybody flocks out just like you used to do, but that doesn't happen on a normal basis on an August day like it used to do. You have to actually call them up and say, you can drive down my street now, and stuff like that. It's weird. I don't know. I don't know when
That's
it happened
wild. Yeah, that's really weird.
or why it happened.
Well,
Vanessa, did
your
they?
stories are better than mine. My husband's friend is the reason why there's no more ice cream. Like we had like the pedal cars, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, because my husband's friend beat the kid up
Yeah.
because he wanted to steal all the ice cream. So that's why there's no more in my town.
It's Canadians. That's what you get.
Well,
What happens?
don't mess with us and our ice cream.
So you bond, you watch wrestling, you know that's what you want to do. When you turn to your parents and you tell them, this is what I'm going to do. Were they on board? Were they apprehensive? Were they like, hell no?
Luckily, my parents have always been very supportive of whatever I wanted to do. Um, so like when I said anything, they were like, "Okay, we'll support you. Have fun, be safe." Um, so the deal always was with my mom that, oh, if you go to college, I'll pay for wrestling school. Wrestling school got early, so
Right.
I still have to hold up my end of the deal and go to college.
Yeah, and you should hold up the end of the deal. And even let's say you make it, you're gonna make it big, and let's say that comes before college, I would still hold her end of the deal, have her pay for the college. It was the deal. That's how I
I'm
would.
still gonna have to do it. Like I'm probably gonna do it online while traveling, kind of like how I'm doing it online right now,
Um,
because of COVID.
yeah. It's how is that? How is learning online?
I feel like I'm a lot more like efficient. I feel like I get a lot more done in the day. Because I'm not stuck on a school bus for so long and uh like I actually get to eat what I want, which is probably not good for me, not a nutritious lunch. But I get really happy when I can go downstairs and have Taco Bell for lunch
There you
instead
go.
of the school hamburger.
Um, I have three daughters. Two of them are in the school system at this time. And they're both different. One of them, does really well with the online learning and kind of like you said, like focus more, can go downstairs, do what she wants. The other one, no, the other one needs to be in the school. So I was more than happy when at least she's allowed to go in and do it. So, but yeah. So yeah, your parents are on board for you. And so where'd you train?
Oh, so originally I was trained at Grindhouse Pro Wrestling,
Okay.
which is a school in Jeffersonville ran by Two Top Tony. Um, and yeah, I kind of just branched out from there and trained with some other people who invited me to their schools. Or like we just had random open rings and people have come down and helped out or seminars like that.
I watched your matches all day today, and I just finished up one of them from Groundhouse, and I think it was your first match ever. And you had talked about this in another podcast. It was your first match. Correct me if I'm wrong. You injured your ankle in that match. Is that right? Was that your first match?
I did.
Yes.
I jumped off the top rope and I had my foot pointed, and when it hit the mat, I like twisted it and could not stand up.
Yeah. Yeah, I heard you say that, and then here comes one of the children now. Come over quickly, please. This is the youngest child interrupting the show. Come on up. Nobody asked for a run-in. What do you want?
I am not doing it.
Okay, are you giving me a kiss? Do you want to say hi? Do you see the person this time?
You always let me
Okay.
do that.
All right, give me a kiss. Go to bed. All right. Good night. I love you. Sleep in your own bed.
That was
Yay.
honestly so cute.
They and thank you. And they've been coming down a little more often. And as soon as that one, she's 4. As soon as she realized, like, oh, I can go down. Oh, there's a camera. Oh, there's this and that. So I try to get rid of them. If the middle one comes down, she's a star.
All
now.
over your setup.
All over. They change the settings. They screw everything up. But I was watching that match because I was like, oh, this is where she said she hurt her ankle. So I'm watching it closely, and you did, and you could tell right away that you're hurt. And but you stuck that match out. You finished strong, and I was like, damn, that was a hell of a thing. And then I watched another. Oh, who is Nolan Edwards?
Nolan is a wrestler in my area.
Okay.
And he's traveled a lot. and has somehow ended up in Jeffersonville, Indiana, and I wrestled him at a Paradigm Pro show.
Yep, that was the one I watched. Yeah, that was good. Yeah, I was watching it, and they're like, here comes her brother. I was like, well, wait a minute. But then they said, brother in theory. That was a really good match. I think out of all the ones I watched today, that one was my favorite. I got invested in it, and I don't know why I enjoyed it. I watched a bunch of Shotzi ones, Killer Kelly today. Those were all great. Roxy, who we've had on the show, that was a phenomenal match. I think that just happened, actually.
Yeah, that happened back. Oh, my memory is the worst.
Yeah, mine is too. That's why I said
It was
recently.
right after Fight Forever.
Yeah.
Because I flew from Fight Forever to that show. Right. Yes. My brain works sometimes.
Through your training, you started at a young age, and you were training. You couldn't get in the ring at least until 16, and but what's the biggest piece of advice you think you got so far?
So, little critique. I did get in the ring earlier than that, actually. But before I even started wrestling, I was a photographer, and I would be backstage with a lot of wrestlers, taking promo pictures. And I used to get advice a lot because I would tell them, like, this is what I want to do. I'm just waiting until I'm a little bit older. And the best advice I ever got was just be a good person, because that's what wrestling needs.
Yeah,
it needs more good people in it. And just being a good, decent human being will get you so far.
Yeah, you can use that advice in, out of the ring, and wherever. We need a ton of more good people. Critique. Who gives you the most critique?
Ooh, probably my father.
Yeah.
Like, he's the one who keeps it real with me the most. Like, some people will be like, oh, that was good. And then I'll sit down and look at Mouse, and he goes, yeah, why'd you do that?
Is it easy or hard to take critique from your dad? I coach my oldest daughter. She's 11. I coach her in softball, and I give her critiques and say certain things like, "Oh, that was not good," or the same type of things, and it doesn't go over so well a lot of the time. So how do you take critique from your dad? And is that just normal? Like, is my daughter not taking my critique well? Fine, is that normal?
I think it's how you explain it to a person. Like, there's some things that I understand what he's saying, and I'm like, okay, I can fix that. Other things he says, I'm like, I don't understand what you're saying, so I can't fix it. So that's when we start to, like, argue. I'm like, I don't understand what you're trying to say to me. I feel like that's when the critiques, we, like, argue about them more than, like, me working on them to improve them. Because in my head, it's like, oh, I do not understand what you're saying, sir.
But then it clicks. It eventually clicks, huh?
I have to make him, like, repeat it over in, like, different ways. And then I'm like, okay, this kind of makes sense now.
Yeah, for sure. The other thing I picked up about you that I was like, wow, this is awesome. And I hope that my kids can turn out this way. You got a level head. And what I mean about that is you kind of have a backup plan going. You got your photography. You talked about painting. I know that's something you also like to do. Is that how important is that to you to have a backup plan? Wrestling is your passion, is your dream, and you're gonna get there. But how important is it to have a backup plan?
I feel like it's very important that you don't just put all your eggs in a basket. You at least need something just in case this doesn't work out. Like, for some reason, I could hurt myself and be told I'm never supposed to wrestle again. What am I supposed to do then?
Right.
Just lay in bed all day? No, I have to have something else to do. So there's, like, a lot of other things that I am, like, interested in. Like, I'm interested in art. I love theater. Big fan of video games. If I could just become a YouTuber, it'd be great.
YouTube is probably where you should go. They're making a lot of big big strides as I stand here on Twitch and stream. But it is, yeah. You probably played a lot of video games during the quarantine, right?
I feel like my video game habit actually grew during the quarantine,
Yeah.
because I got so right before like the quarantine, my friends really got me hooked on Call of Duty,
Okay.
and then during the quarantine, the newest one, the Cold War, came out, and I
Yeah.
was like, oh, fun, another one,
Every year.
and all make this is my first Call of Duty with zombies.
Okay.
And they're like, stop being so garbage at this. And I'm like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do.
Just run and shoot. That's what I do. Just run and shoot. Yeah, Call of Duty is I've fallen out of it. I was really into it, but I did fall out of it. You play any Warzone on there?
I did. I love playing Warzone.
Yeah.
Me and Cole Radrick, actually played for a little bit, but then he started bailing on me because he's like, I'm old. I need to go to sleep. And I was like, well, I got school tomorrow, sir. You can play one more round.
It's always one more round. What else did you play?
I played Dead by Daylight. I love Minecraft, and I
Yeah.
feel like it's just one of those peaceful games for me. Like, it just helps me relax.
Yeah.
Like, Call of Duty is so intense where it's one of those games where I'm doing it when I have a lot of energy.
Yeah.
But like Minecraft is something like I'm gonna do while I'm like casually about to go to bed, or like, oh, I just took a shower, I'm gonna wind down before doing something else.
Yes, I stand by Minecraft. It has a lot of mathematical applications to it, but I tell that to my
You
kids.
sound like a dad.
I do, don't I? I tell that to my kids, and then they stop playing it. So I try to get them into Stardew Valley. They get into that, and then I get into it with them, and then they stop playing that, and just drives me absolutely bonkers. But yeah, Call of Duty, Dead by Daylight, Minecraft, wind down with those things. But back to wrestling. IFHY. What is it? I got those letters right. Didn't I? IFHY? Okay.
So I'm no longer part of the group.
Oh, terrible notes by me.
You're okay. It used to stand for Indiana Foundation of Hateful Youth. It kind of like fell apart during the quarantine.
Yeah.
So it's no longer a thing that I'm part of. But for like the time I spent with those people, it was a good time.
Yeah. Yeah, I always try when I prep for the shows to do go back and research recent stuff so I don't have blunders like that. But yeah, that makes sense. The ring finger down. We have a picture. I have a picture right there. That when I first saw this picture, and I mean you can see it on the Twitch stream after. You know, you got your ring finger down, but I looked at it for the first time and thought, oh, she's missing a finger. That's interesting. Jerry Garcia was missing a finger. What's going on? But then I realized that it's a sign. Ring finger down. What is it all about? Do you still use it? Is it related to that faction that you're no longer in? Because if it is, then disregard the question.
I guess the question is discarded because it was a part of IFHY.
Oh, geez, Vanessa. What are you going to do, right? What are you going to do? But that's okay. That's fine.
I love how like we're having this podcast and my bunny has decided to try to sit on top of my Xbox.
Oh, so that's okay. So first of all, I was going to ask you that. The system you play Xbox, right?
Yes, I am an Xbox One.
Yeah.
My friends keep trying to convert me over to PS5.
Yeah.
They're like, if you get an upgrade, you have to get a PS5.
Yeah. And your bunny, Thumper, a house bunny, which I'm not telling my kids is a thing because they will want it. What's it like to have a bunny hopping around?
It's like having a dog. Since Thumper is newer to the house, he gets in trouble a lot because he likes to do things he's not supposed to do.
Yeah.
He is like somewhat potty trained. Like he uses his litter box. He will only pee in his litter box, but randomly he'll have like little accidents where he goes and poops somewhere.
Yeah.
He's like, it's fine.
But it's bunny poop, so that's probably easy to clean up.
They're
It's
like
just-
just little
yeah, they're
balls.
just
I told my
pellet-
brother if he ever makes me mad, I'm gonna do an April Fool's prank where it's just that as cereal and pour milk in it.
Oh.
My mom's like, you're never allowed to do that. That is so evil.
Oh. You should totally do it. Younger brother?
Yeah, it's my younger brother.
Yeah. Yeah, you should totally do that. He would vomit all over
He'd
the
be
place.
so upset.
But yeah, the bunny's probably sitting on the Xbox is warm. Were you just playing it?
I actually wasn't. I don't know why, but Thumper just loves. It's on top of my desk, so Thumper just loves sitting up there. I think it's because of the height difference. It's like, oh, I'm tall now. It loves climbing on everything. Like I have a shelf in my closet, and it's learned that it won't get yelled at if it jumps in my closet. Because it can't be seen because it's hidden under all the clothes. And I think it's hilarious.
So you can you can potty train a bunny.
Yes, it
They're
has
like
a little litter
cats.
box.
What's that, Vanessa?
It's like a cat.
Yeah, it's like a cat. That makes sense. I'm not telling my kids this. They'll want it. First of all, they want a dog, and I'm thinking about it, but we rescued a stupid cat, so now we still have another cat around. We have one really old one who I'm ready to say goodbye to at any moment, but he lives forever. We have one that we rescued that is just young and fine, and I'm not getting a dog until those cats are gone. But I'm definitely not getting a bunny. I do want chickens. I got a yard for chickens. I could have chickens.
Ooh,
Oh,
my
I
mom
want
talked
so
about
many
chickens
chickens.
forever ago.
Yeah. Yeah, chickens are fun. My father-in-law had chickens. They're fun. And you get eggs. You can get eggs out of it. Recycle everything. One of the shows that I used to prepare for you was a dear friend of mine, Izzy, who I'm wearing her shirt tonight. You guys have something in common. You're both huge Bailey fans.
Mm-hmm.
You have a Bailey vibe to you. I'm sure you've heard that before. My question is, what was your reaction to Bailey going heel? And do you want the old Bailey back?
So my reaction when it first happened was like, oh, I feel like this was expected. Like
Right.
it at
Yeah.
some point had to happen.
Yes.
But my reaction is I still don't like it. Like for some reason it's like this doesn't seem natural. Like I want her to go back to what she was, but I feel like it's so hard to get back to that from where she is now.
I cannot figure out how they would get back to the old Bailey. And I don't think they should. They can have her go face, but I don't know how much they could go back to what we saw with the inflatable men and whatever. But yeah, you do have that Bailey vibe. You have a face vibe. Same thing. Have you ever gone heel? And would you? Are there heels in space?
I would not doubt there are, but I am we always joke that I'm the forever baby face until I turn 18.
That's a good point. That is a good point.
Because just people love me and my energy for some reason. But in training and stuff like that, I have practiced being a heel, and the people I train with are like, oh, it's Bully Billy. And we'll always joke about that. But for now, the world has not seen the heel Billie Starkz. They will always get forever babyface Billie Starkz.
Something I wanted to touch on, and I thought it was a great comment by you, and I apologize the podcast that you said it on because I forgot, but you kind of didn't like to be referred to as, well, she's good for her age. Oh, she's talented for her age. Oh, she can learn so much because she's young. You want to be the best now. You don't want someone to say she's the best for her age. Is that right?
Yeah, I just don't want to be categorized into like this box of like, oh,
Right.
people build me up so much, um, because I'm using this crutch of like, oh, I'm young.
Right.
Or like even if I'm a woman wrestler, because like for some reason, people like to divide men and women's wrestling of like, oh, she's a great women's wrestler.
All right.
Well, how is she just as a wrestler? Like, how are you still gonna hold her at the same regard? So I feel like I don't want to use any crutch and just be seen as just a great, great, great wrestler.
I loved that, and I totally agree. I think it's gonna be a long time before we. Unfortunately, it'll be a long time before, um, they don't say, "Oh, she's a great women's." Actually, we're kind of getting there, maybe with Charlotte, because Charlotte is a great wrestler, not a women's wrestler, a great wrestler. But you are a great wrestler, and you're gonna be in intergender matches coming up soon. You got one at Janela's spring break.
Oh, me versus Starboy. I'm so excited.
Yeah. April 9th, I believe. If I'm wrong, I
That sounds
apologize.
about right.
But Joey Janela's spring break, Starboy, Charlie. You're doing a lot over WrestleMania weekend. You got that. You got I think something called Scramble Mania, I believe.
Yes, I'm very excited. That just got announced. It's for Unsanctioned Pro.
Yeah.
I'm in a very fun scramble. I'm a big fan of scrambles. I know a lot of people find them not as fun because there's so many people and there's so much going on. But me as a wrestler, I'm like, ooh, more people, so more people to like toss around and have fun with.
Yeah. More spots you can do. But the biggest thing that me and Vanessa were trying to learn more about this week is what's up with you and Gary J.
Oh, Gary J's a coward. There, said it.
There, that's that simple. So what happened? Because I watched Gary J's Twitter video, and basically he was just running his mouth for I don't know how long it is, and he goes, "I'm not accepting your challenge." So did you challenge him? Did I miss this? You challenged him?
Yes. So, the promoter of Anarchy gave me the choice of whoever I wanted at family reunion. And
Okay.
in my head, I was like, oh, I want to be the best, so I have to face the best.
Yeah.
And he was one of the pillars of Anarchy. So I chose Gary J.
Yeah.
I made out my challenge to him and he denied it. So that man is a coward.
And then
Even
he blocked
though
you.
I he did block me. I'm fired up about this. This man had no reason. I was just stating facts. Hey, you're a coward. Fight me, Gary. And then he was like, block, bye. Can't even stand up for himself. Has to block people.
And he doesn't want to hear it. Can't handle it. He can't handle it, I don't think. But maybe, hopefully, we'll get those two in the ring. You can knock
That's the hope.
red hair right off his
I'm
chin.
gonna keep bothering him. I'm gonna make like burner accounts
Yeah,
and just
there you
keep
go.
going after him.
I can neither confirm nor deny that I have burner accounts due to being blocked by certain people. I can neither confirm nor deny that, but I do stand by it, and you can be done. We'll get you in the ring with him. You can knock the red hair right off his chin and send him right up into space. We'll get that done for sure. Space Jesus, how's that even come about?
Ooh, so it is a story.
And it involves one of our favorite guests ever on this show, Jimmy Jacobs.
Oh, of course, of course. So Space Jesus, there's a little story behind it. It all started at a Jimmy Jacobs seminar. This guy walks in. He's wearing like a leather jacket and biker gloves, and has wrist tape on. Goes and sits down. The seminar starts. Not Gary. Jimmy Jacobs is going around and like asking people, "Oh, what's your gimmick? What do you do? Blah blah blah." And he gets to this guy. Jimmy goes, "Oh, what's your gimmick?" He goes, "Oh, I'm a street fighter." Jimmy goes, "I need more than that. There's a lot of street fighters." And the guy goes, "No, I'm a street fighter." And Jimmy was like, well, I think you need more. So this guy goes, oh, I think this will explain it all. And proceeds to take off his jacket, takes off his shirt, and what is revealed is alien Jesus walking across water tattooed on this man's chest.
Oh my goodness gracious!
Um,
I would have led with
more
that.
and more happened. He was a mess of a man to deal with, and then everybody nicknamed him Space Jesus. I went to a show that Friday. The seminar was on a Sunday. That Friday, I went to a show, and the ring announcer came backstage, who was there at the show, and goes, "Oh, who wants to be announced as Space Jesus tonight?" And everybody's like fighting over it. They're like, "Me, me, me!" And I finally like pulled him off to the side, and was like, "Hey, give it to me." And by the time I finished like calling my match and everything, I've forgotten. And I go out to the ring and he announces me as Space Jesus. And you hear like the crowd pause for a second, but they see the huge smile on my face. So they're like, yeah, we approve. And I was like, you know what? I'm keeping this. It kind of vibes.
Space Jesus. What if he comes back? What if he comes back and wants the name Space Jesus? Are we gonna have?
Well, I feel like it's his right. This man did get Alien Jesus tattooed on his chest.
He can be Alien Jesus from space. That is interesting. I heard that story and I was just like, that's great. I'm going to have to ask her because we love Jimmy Jacobs. He was on here. He was great. And that was
I feel
good.
like Jimmy Jacobs is such an interesting character.
He is.
Because of his hair and
Yep.
like how he portrays himself.
Yes. Those are the right characteristics for him, right, Vanessa? Interesting character.
Yep.
Yes. For sure. I thought of another question while you were talking too, and now I forgot. But I don't remember. Oh well. Next time. But before I get to my final questions that have literally nothing to do with wrestling, I did forget you have a match on the 19th, I think. Unless it's been changed. Chicago Style Wrestling on March 19th versus Sky Blue for the Women's Championship.
Yes, this is I believe the 4th or 5th time that I'm wrestling Sky. I'm super excited about it. I think she's a great wrestler, and I love being in the ring with her.
Yeah, for sure. And that's March 19th. We can watch a lot of these on IWTV Fight? One? Both?
Most of my matches are on IWTV.
Yeah.
Stay tuned for Mania Weekend. I knew some stuff is going to be on Fight,
Yeah.
and then some stuff is going to be on IWTV. But yeah, most of the stuff is on IWTV. You can look up Billie Starkz and some stuff will come up. And yeah.
For sure. Now the questions I wanted to get to that really have nothing to do with wrestling. Well, they sort of do. You have another alter ego character called Pizza Cat.
Yes, Pizza Cat Jr.
Pizza Cat Jr. Who's Pizza Cat Senior?
Oh, Pizza Cat Senior. It's a secret, but it's Shotzi Blackheart.
Oh, breaking news, Vanessa.
Whew.
Hot take. Shots. Those were some good matches. How many times have you wrestled Shotzi?
I got to wrestle Shotzi twice.
Okay.
One in Alabama and one in Indianapolis.
Yeah, because I was watching them earlier and they kept coming up and I was like, has she wrestled her a lot or is my YouTube just replaying the playlist? So yeah, twice.
It was actually really weird because it was like for the longest time we were like around each other because we would train whenever I would head up to Indy and that's where she was around the most. So I would train with her and like she started doing like a tiger suplex and I was the first one to take it. And that was in our match at Indy. She goes, I'm going to start doing that more. That was real cool.
Interesting. Yeah. Tiger suplex. I saw her putting on it was a Texas cloverleaf and she was almost standing straight up on the Texas cloverleaf, bending you back. Almost.
She loves stressing me out.
Oh
like,
my goodness.
So tight.
All right. So Pizza Cat Jr. That's another character you have. So my question for you is, I need your Mount Rushmore of pizza toppings.
Who just like all meats. Like Pepperoni is number one.
Okay.
Number two would be sausage. Three is ham. And I kind of want to throw like an oddball in there of like kiwi pizza because when I tried it, it wasn't bad. And I feel like that helps the people who are like, oh, I'm not a fan of the meats. Well, here's your kiwi pizza
Here's your kiwi
because
pizza.
pineapple on pizza does not allow. It's not allowed. But like kiwi, I can tolerate it.
That's interesting. So kiwi on pizza, you're fine with. Pineapple on pizza, you're not.
Yes, pineapple. I love pineapple by itself, but pineapple on pizza, like I think it's more that I don't like pineapple warm, and like it just like my sensory is just like I don't
Sensory
like
overload.
this.
What if I make the pizza and then I take the cold pineapple and put it on?
But then it's just like cold and warm, and I feel like that doesn't fit. Like I'd rather my food be like one like temperature.
Do
Like
you-
when I eat my Taco Bell, I really hope that like it's all warm with like the beef
Yes.
and the cheese and the tortilla. Like I really hope that it's all warm.
Do you prefer warm pizza? Well, you just said warm. Do you prefer warm pizza or cold pizza? I'm a big cold pizza guy.
I do like cold pizza. Like if it's like left over for the night
Yeah.
and it's in the fridge, I'm not warming up
Yes.
my
I
food.
don't
But like
have
if
time
you
for that.
just got it, then I'm eating it like that.
Yeah, I don't have time for that. I don't have time to warm up pizza. I want it out. I want it gone. Done. All right, my last question for you is your parents, maybe your mom, Weezer fan, big Weezer fan.
Yes,
Yes.
that's definitely my mom. We actually went to a few of their concerts. And she has like a bunch of their albums on vinyl so she can play them in our living room. But I grew up a big Weezer person because that's what my mom listened to all the time. Like I would come down and that'd be like what she wanted to play while she's like trying to make us breakfast or something like that.
Trying to force you to listen to it. I force my kids to listen to stuff all the time. I play it. Like, this is-
See, like her thing is like music, and then Mouse's is like, oh, come here, I need to show you something. And he'll either show me like something really stupid, like one of these comedy skits that I just don't understand, or he'll show me a wrestling match and he's like, why can't you do this? And I'm like, what do you see?
He's like, I think you could do this. Why don't you do this? So this would be good. Best Weezer album. What's your favorite? What's your mom's favorite Weezer album?
See, I believe her favorite album is the Blue Album, and that one is mine too.
Yeah.
I feel like I love most of the songs on there. Ooh, I just feel like it just clicked with me for some reason.
Yeah.
Like Say It Ain't So is one of my favorites.
Yeah.
My brother's is Troublemaker because he is one.
Oh, that's great. Well, that's all the questions I have. Vanessa, you got anything else for her? You want to ask her about a faction she's not in anymore, like I did?
No, I don't. I was the only thing I was going to get into because you say like you want, like I'm in the same boat. I want wrestling to be like whatever we call people wrestling,
Mhm.
but because of the makeup of what we have right now, do you prefer wrestling against a man or do you prefer wrestling against a female or a woman, or does it really matter?
In my head, it really doesn't matter. I always love new opponents. Since there are limited women, like especially in my area, I have a lot more fun wrestling guys because a lot of times I never get to wrestle them before, and it gives me a new challenge. Like I look at it as, oh, I've never wrestled this person before. We can tell a different story. Meanwhile, like I wrestled Sky Blue a few times, like how I already mentioned. It's like we can build off of what we already do and we know what each other does. But I feel like it's so much more when you can be creative with a different person and like put different ideas together.
Nice. And also I've had this question. I came up with this question. What was it? Yesterday's stream where I came up
yeah.
with this question.
I was just going to ask
Okay.
that one. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So I came up with this question yesterday because I'm curious. I've done some indie. I'm not done. I don't wrestle, but I've been to a couple indie shows in my area. That time passed a long time ago. So I was just curious because like I know like WWE and all of them, like they're there all day like preparing for their show and their setup because of TV and everything. So when you're going to like your shows in Indianapolis, right? set up Chicago, like, is there like, do you just show up like an hour before? Is it 3 hours before? Like, or is there like each show is different to how much time you need to prepare?
I will say like each show is different. Like there has been shows that like, oh, I need to go like 2 hours before setup so I can help them out and set up the ring and everything. While there's been some shows that I've been told, oh, come like an hour before. This is like call time, doors will open, blah blah blah, have your match ready. Or I've even had shows where it's like, hey, I can't come until this time. Okay, here, drive up, have your match, and then I leave because I have to go do something else. But I feel like independent wrestling, it's like all over the place based on what people have to do. Um, so it really just depends on like the show and the environment. Even like sometimes what the promoter needs, because sometimes they already have a ring crew, so they don't need the wrestlers to come in early to like set up the ring, or they have a building that already has a ring set up in it, so they can do all like the final touches themselves.
Awesome. Yeah, it's good stuff. Anything else, Vanessa?
No, those are the two ones that I had, and then we went through the rest.
Yeah, that was. I was gonna ask that. When you were asking your first question, I remembered when you showed up. Well, Billy, you have Sky Blue again on the 19th. WrestleMania weekend with Joey Janela, Scramble Mania, all that fun stuff. We're gonna get you and Gary J in the ring, because he is a coward, for sure. He's been on the show and he gave that coward vibe. So,
See, you better tweet it out, or I'm gonna say that you're a liar. You gotta say he's a coward.
I just did. We should clip it and show it. Gary J is a coward.
We need to clip Billy saying it, and then we need to clip you saying it after. So like a TikTok duet.
Oh my God! Don't even get me started on TikTok. Oh my God! We'll be here for another hour. My daughter was trying to explain to me the algorithm for TikTok.
Oh, that is a loophole. That is like a rabbit hole to go down.
I was like, I fell down it. Okay, and at first my For You page, which took me like a week to figure out what FYP meant. And they go, it's a For You page. So I'm like, okay, well, I want it to be stuff I like. And she's like trying to explain it to me. So I was like, I want it to be wrestling promos. Only Randy Savage wrestling promos. She goes, well, that ain't going to happen. So I have to search. I have to follow some people. I have to watch some videos. She told me if I watch a video all the way through, then my For You page is going to start getting more of those. Like if I watch a stupid cat video, now I'm going to get those. I watch Dr. Pimple Popper. Now my For You page is full of people ripping their ingrown hairs out. It is an absolute, it's like, what'd you say? Did you say wormhole? It is an absolute wormhole of time wasting. Absolute time wasting.
Hey, it's perfect for car rides though, when you get bored and you can just start swiping through videos.
Oh my God, I know. Well, here's the worst thing. I like it. Well, not the worst thing. It's great. TikTok's great. Everyone loves it. It's 7 seconds or less, whatever you want to say. But I'll go to one and they'll play a song I like. And I'm like, oh, this is great. I love this song. And then it ends. And it just plays over again. And I was like, I want to hear the whole thing. So now I gotta get out of TikTok. I gotta go to Spotify. I gotta look up Take On Me, Aha, and then I gotta listen to that. It's a nightmare. It's an absolute nightmare. I don't know why my kids told me to get on TikTok. I don't know why.
It was a trap.
I know why. I do know why. Because they said, because they want to do it. They want to be on. So if Dad gets on, it's okay. Well, you're on TikTok. We better get on. We better end this interview before I cut a promo on TikTok. Get out of here.
It's coming. It's coming.
It is coming. It will definitely rear its ugly head. Like Gary J, as we circle around, it will rear its ugly head sometime in the near future. Billy, I want to thank you for coming by. We look forward to everything you have coming up, wrestling-wise. I think you're an inspiration. as I've mentioned several times tonight about my kids, I showed them your matches tonight. I told them who I was talking to. So you're a role model. So I hope that doesn't put too much pressure on you. But you're doing great stuff, and we really appreciate your time tonight. So thank you.
Thank you guys so much for having me, and it means a lot.
Yeah, for sure. Take care.
Are you not passing the mic?
Oh, shit. Yeah, that's right.
Holy.
Whew.
Wait, what?
Normally, Billy, at the end of every show, I give the mic to the guest. And you can put over anything you want. You can bury anything you want. You can say anything you want. I will not interrupt. Vanessa is right. I apologize. The mic is yours. The floor is yours. Go ahead.
I feel like I have too much power now. Well, I can say I'm going to shout out my social media since I have the power to right now. All of my social media is at Billie Starkz, Billie, and Starkz is Starkz. That's Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all that just jazz. And if you want to go check out some of my merch, I have a big cartel set up. It's linked in my Twitter bio, so go check that out. The last thing, Gary J is a coward. We're gonna see how many times I can say that throughout this podcast, and now I'm gonna pass back the mic.
Yes, I agree. Gary J is a coward, and it is Billie Starkz at bigcartel.com. Also, Pro Wrestling Tees Billie Starkz, which I really enjoyed the Billy Bites Garbage Pail Kids t-shirt. Which
Oh, I love that design so much. The funny thing is, like, the WWE people started doing like the Cabbage Patch WWE right after I released that, and I was like, I feel like I rip off.
yeah. Well, whatever. It's wrestling. It's what happens. Learn to work, WWE. Let's go. Thank you for giving us your time. Tell your parents I said thank you for giving us your time. And keep kicking ass, man. Keep crushing goals. And we'll talk to you soon. You're welcome back anytime.
Thank you guys so much. I hope you have a great night.
Yeah, for sure. You too. Have a good night.
Bye.
Bye. Awesome. Awesome stuff, Vanessa. She's great.
We almost forgot the gimmick though. Like, how do we forget the gimmick?
I have absolutely no idea how I forgot that gimmick. Because I look